guys, what's up? Welcome back. It's your girl Cooking with Tammy, and I am excited to be back because today I'm going to show you how to make my delicious chicken with garlic Parmesan rice. So without further ado, let's introduce these ingredients really quick and let's get to cooking. First one up is our chicken tenders. Of course, if you want to substitute with using chicken breasts, no worry whatsoever. You can definitely do that. We also have some finely chopped garlic along with white wine. I'm going to tell you what the substitution could be once we start cooking. We also have some salted butter. I'm going to talk about that later as well. Fresh parsley along with rice, chicken broth, Parmesan cheese, and a few seasonings. We have your girls Cooking with Tammy's Cajun seasoning along with her Creole seasoning, garlic powder, salt, ground black pepper, oil, and with all of that being said, let's get to cooking. I went ahead off camera and I basically cut the chicken on up into bite-sized pieces. All right, next thing we want to do is we want to hit our chicken with just a small drizzle of oil, not too much. Right, we're going to hit it with a small pinch of salt and ground black pepper, give it a little extra flavor. We're also going to hit it with some Cajun seasoning. Season it on up really good. Cooking with Tammy's Cajun seasoning does not contain any salt, so I'm going to add as much seasoning as I would like to. I'm going to also hit it with that Creole seasoning as well, and we're going to finish it off with some garlic powder for a nice garlicky flavor. We're going to get in there. We're going to mix it on up really, really good. Make sure every piece of chicken is well coated with seasoning. It's definitely looking good and smelling absolutely delicious so far. All right, I'm gonna grab some paprika, not smoked paprika, but a regular paprika, because I want to sprinkle a little bit of paprika onto the chicken to give it a nice color while it's cooking. Small amount is good. Mix it on up. And in the meanwhile, our pan should be getting nice and hot because we're going to sear this chicken on up. I have my skillet nice and hot, guys, so we're going to introduce a small drizzle of oil to the skillet. I'm also going to add a small amount of butter. I decided to add the butter because not only is it going to make the chicken nice and flavorful, but it's also going to give the chicken a nice brown color once we start to cook it on up. Also, it's really important to add a little bit of oil before adding the butter, simply because if you add the butter on its own, the temperature of the butter is not going to get hot enough to sear the chicken on up without burning. Get the chicken in the pan. Let's separate our chicken pieces and allow it to cook for about 3 to 5 minutes on each side. After 3 to 5 minutes, we're going to flip it on over, cook it on the other side as well. Just in case you're wondering, Tammy, what are you cooking on? What type of flame? Is it high, low, or medium? I'm rocking out with a medium flame, and that should be efficient enough to brown this chicken on up. I'm mixing and tossing the chicken around simply because I want to make sure that it's even heat distribution throughout this pan, because I want to make sure all of our chicken pieces are cooked through thoroughly. Grabbing our favorite plate and using a slotted spoon, we're going to remove the chicken pieces and place them onto the plate. Check it on out. Oh my goodness. Steamy deliciousness. It looks absolutely delicious, and you can't tell me that this chicken is not seasoned to perfection. Once we're done, we're going to take our plate and just sit it aside. Using the same pan with all of this delicious flavors going on, we're going to add a small amount of butter. Toss that butter around, allow it to get nice and melted. Once we're done, we're going to add our finely chopped garlic. Stir that around as well. However, we're going to make sure to lower the flame because we don't want this garlic to burn. We just want the aromatics from the garlic. Give that a good stir for about 30 seconds. When it comes to the butter, I'm using salted butter because I did not use a lot of salted ingredients. However, if you are going to be using salty ingredients, you can definitely scale back and use unsalted butter. It's totally optional and totally up to you. Once we're finished, we're going to introduce our white wine. However, if you are not a white wine drinker, or if you don't prefer to cook with white wine, all you got to do is add either more chicken broth or more water. That's it. We're going to give it a good stir, make sure everything is well combined. Your pan should be looking just like this. After adding the liquid, it's deglazed everything at the bottom of the pan, which is great. Let's introduce our chicken broth to this pan. When it comes to the chicken broth, like I said before, if you don't have any on hand but you do have bouillon powder or bouillon paste, dissolve some of it in water, mix it on up really, really good, and boom, you have flavorful chicken broth. We're going to stir it up one more time to make sure everything is well combined. And we are going to add our pre-washed rice to the broth. We're going to stir it on in. It takes 2 seconds to wash your rice. Just wash the rice before incorporating it into anything that you're about to eat. Because I'm using long grain parboiled rice, it's going to take about 20 minutes for the rice to cook. However, if you do decide to use a different type of rice, maybe risotto, basmati, or even jasmine rice, definitely refer to the back. Or even brown rice. Give or take. Brown rice is really good with this recipe as well. Not to mention quinoa is even better. However, refer to the back of the package to check for the cooking time and directions, because not every type of rice is going to cook in 20 minutes. You have some that cook way less and some that takes a little bit longer in order for it to become nice and softened. In the meanwhile, we're going to cover this on down. I'm going to check back within about, let's say, 15 to 17 minutes. Our rice is literally almost done. We have about 1 minute left to go. All right, in the meanwhile, let's remove the stems from our parsley. And we're just going to get in there and give it a quick rough chop. Refine it down a little bit more. We're going to use it for the garnish, and this is perfect. In the meanwhile, let's check on our rice. Check it on out. After about 20 minutes, our rice is cooked through perfectly. Nice and tender, just how we like it. This is it right here. We're going to add the chicken back to the pan at this point. Make sure you add all of that delicious gravy that's sitting in the plate as well. Let's flavor up this rice. You can allow the chicken to just sit on the top, or you can incorporate the chicken with the rice as well. And by the way, if you feel like your chicken is not cooked through thoroughly, all you got to do is add the chicken during the last 5 minutes of the cooking process to the rice, cover it on down, and allow the chicken to cook through fully at that point in time. Finish this delicious dish on up. We're going to garnish with some freshly chopped parsley, and we're going to follow it on up with some freshly grated Parmesan cheese, which is going to bring out the ultimate flavor in this rice dish. But our delicious chicken with garlic Parmesan rice is ready to be served on up. You don't even need any other additional sides to go along with this one-pot recipe. When I tell you absolutely delicious, not to mention, don't forget to get your seasonings, cookingwithtammy.shop. The Cajun and the Creole seasoning is like none other. It definitely brings out the ultimate flavor in every single dish. I'm not just saying it because it's mine, but because it's the truth. As always, I'm your girl Cooking with Tammy. Big shout out to all channel members, and I will catch you guys in another video. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.